Hey, I'm Coach Alisha with Dynamic Cyclist. Today we're going to be showing you the best strength exercises for your hip flexors. Strengthening the hip flexors is crucial for improving your posture, enhancing your athletic performance, and preventing future injuries. Let's get into it. We've gone over what the hip flexors are and what they do in a previous video. Feel free to pause and go watch that video for a more in-depth look at the function and anatomy of the hip flexors. But here's a quick review. Hip flexors are a group of muscles at the front of the thigh. It includes the iliopsoas, the rectus femoris, and the sartorius. These muscles work together to lift your thigh to the torso, called hip flexion, move the leg away from the body, called hip abduction, and rotating the leg outward, called external rotation. Since this muscle group spans multiple joints in the body, the hip and the knee, if there is weakness or tightness, it can cause pain or leave you prone to injury. Sitting and cycling are two ways that the hip flexors can become short and/or tight since they don't fully extend during these activities. Strengthening these muscles can aid in restoring muscle balance, relieving tension, and preventing future injuries. Strength training is an important part of any cyclist routine, and with the Dynamic Cyclist app, it can be even easier to incorporate into your life. Join thousands of cyclists and gain access to hundreds of guided routines for strength training, mobility, and injury prevention. Click the link in the description for a 7-day free trial. Now, back to the video. If you ever experience pain while exercising or stretching, it's best to get a professional opinion from a physiotherapist or other healthcare provider that can help cater to your specific needs. Every body is different. If any of these exercises cause pain, reduce the range of motion or find a different movement which suits you. Grab a mat and feel free to follow along. We're starting with a reverse lunge to knee raise. So you're going to be standing a little bit more near the front of your mat. You're going to take a generous step back, ball of the foot. You're going to sink your weight straight down to center. Back knee hovers above the ground. We're going to push through the lead foot to come back up. Draw that knee all the way up and through. High, about 90 degrees, toes flexed to the shin. Pause, set it down, and repeat on the other side. You're going to alternate for 45 seconds. Now, if balance is an issue, after the lunge, you can step the foot in before you raise that knee up. So we're still strengthening our legs by doing those lunges, but we're putting an emphasis on the hip flexor by drawing that knee up. So just be mindful that you're making that 90 degree at the knee. It's up with intention, toes are flexed to the shin. Time's up. Next, we're moving into a standing march. So standing comfortable on your mat, hands can be at your sides, on your hips, or wherever is comfortable. From here, we're going to slowly draw one knee up, hitting at least 90 degrees, toes are flexed to the shin. Pause if you can with balance, then release back down and repeat on the other side. We're going to alternate for 45 seconds. So we're focusing on isolating the hip flexors. They're working to draw that knee and that leg up. If you're really off with balance, you can choose to hold on to something to help you. Just trying to get that little pause at the top to really work and strengthen the hip flexor from holding that leg up. All right, and time is up. We're transitioning into seated movement, so go ahead and sit down. Next, we're moving into reverse Nordic curls. You're going to be in a kneeling position on your mat. Feel free to grab a blanket or something if you need to underneath your knees. Toes are going to be tucked under, and we're going to make sure we're nice and stacked. So shoulders over hips, tucking the pelvis under, engaging the glutes, bracing the core so everything is stacked and strong. Hands can go wherever is most comfortable. We're going to keep this alignment in this position as we lean back. You're going to start by feeling a stretch into the quads, and now we need to contract and use them to pull ourselves back up. So we're going to go between leaning back, staying nice and strong everywhere, and then using our quads to bring us back up for 45 seconds. So this can be a very challenging movement and exercise. So if you need to make it a little bit easier, you just limit how much you go back before you go forward. Or if you'd like to make it more challenging, you just go back further before you come back up. Your quads are part of your hip flexors, so this is a great way to work on strengthening them. All right, and time is up. Next, we're moving into mountain climbers. Coming into the position, high plank, you're gonna have your hands underneath your shoulders and up on the balls of your feet. You're gonna tuck your hips down and push up between your shoulder blades. From here, we're gonna draw one knee in, hover and pause for a second, release back out, and switch to the other side. We're gonna alternate for 45 seconds. So your hip flexors work to draw that knee in. So you want to bring it in with intention, pause before you release. You might also be feeling your shoulders just supporting and holding you alongside your core. All right, time's up. These 4 exercises are perfect for strengthening your hip flexors. In time, you'll see improved mobility, strength, and stability in your hips. We recommend you do these exercises 3 to 4 days per week, incorporating them into your routine. Subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with more mobility and strength tips to keep you pain-free. Check out this video on the best stretches for hip flexors or the best post-cycling stretches for your next ride. Thanks for watching.